بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما آمين. Welcome you all. We will continue our book called Sword Against Black Magic and Evil Magician. Today we're going to start chapter 6. It's a vast chapter and most of the things will be covered in this chapter 6. So it's going to be 5 to 6 parts in chapter 6. So let's start today chapter 6 part 1 part A. How to treat black magic. Black magic for at-tafriq is a separation. Its symptoms, its treatment, practical cases, a genie called Shakwan. A genie puts black magic inside the pillow. The latest case the author has treated. Black magic for al-mahabba, love. Its symptoms, how does it happen, its side effects, lawful black magic, its treatment, a man guided by his wife's bridle, black magic for takhayul, false appearance of objects, third thing, and its symptoms, how to treat it, and practical case for its treatment. And the fourth thing is black magic for junoon, lunatic. Its symptoms, its treatment, and practical case for its treatment. And the fifth one is black magic for al-khumul, lethargy. Its symptoms, treatment. Black magic for al-hawatif, hearing voices. Its symptoms, treatments, and seventh one is the black magic for al-marad, ailment, treatment, illness. Its symptoms and treatment and practical case for treatment. And black magic for an nazif, bleeding. How does it happen, its treatment, and practical cases for its treatment. And the ninth one is the black magic for impeding a marriage. Its symptoms, treatment, and practical cases for its treatment. And important information on black magic. So in this chapter, shall discuss some types of black magic in terms of their effect on a person and the treatment of each type with the Quran, Sunnah, and the duas of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, invocations. And however, like to draw the reader's attention that in this and other chapters of the treatment, there are some methods which are not confirmed by Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in treating some special cases. They are nevertheless included in general principle confirmed by Quran and Sunnah. For example, you find that the treatment of a disease with the verse of the Quran, including in this verse, وَنُنَزِّلَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ رَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. And we send down the Quran, that which is healing and a mercy to the believers. This is in Surah Al-Isra, Surah number 17 and Ayah number 82. So some scholars hold that this verse refers to the healing of psychological diseases only. But others of the opinion that healing is in context both mental and physical. And remember that Quran itself is healing, the whole of Quran. Another evidence is the hadith quoted by Aisha radiallahu anha, treat her with the book of Allah, that is Quran. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this is to a woman who was treating Aisha with ruqya. A close examination of this hadith reveals that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's statement is general, not confined to any specific verse or chapter of the Quran. This proves that the entire Quran is a healing. Furthermore, practical experience has shown time and again that the Quran is not only healing to sihr, insanity and jealousy, but also to physical illness. One might argue that there should be specific evidence from every verse we choose from Quran for the purpose of treating an illness. One might also argue that one should wait until the confirmation comes from the hadith that Prophet ﷺ healed such an illness with such a verse. In response to this argument, we say that Prophet ﷺ laid down a general rule for every ruqya. It is reported in Sahih Muslim that some people ask Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "O Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we used to do ruqya during the pre-Islamic period of ignorance." Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Tell me about your ruqyas. There is no harm in doing or seeking the ruqya as long as it does not contain word of shirk, polytheism." So remember this, what it says, there is no harm in doing it or seeking ruqya as long as it does not contain words of polytheism. We have to remember that. But according to this hadith, we are allowed to adopt ruqya from Quran and Sunnah and invocation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or like, or even ruqyas which belong to pre-Islamic period, provided they do not contain the language of polytheism. And here the black magic for suppression, the first one, the black magic for suppression. And in this context, again the same reference, in this book most of the time this ayah reference has been repeatedly repeated. Ayah number 102 from Suratul Baqarah. وَاتَّبُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينَ. Again, they follow what the shaitans recited over Sulaiman al-Islam kingdom. Sulaiman disbelieved not, but the shaitan disbelieved. He was not a disbeliever, but shaitan were disbelieved, teaching the people sorcery and that which was sent down upon Babylonian. And two angels were sent to Babylonians, and that is Harut and Marut. They taught not any man without they said, "We are but a temptation, do not believe." Before teaching them, they tell them openly, we are here for a test. So we do not want you to be disbeliever. But still people insisted that they want to learn. And from them they learned how they might divide a man from his wife, yet they did not hurt any man thereby save by the leave of Allah. Illa bi iznillah. Whatever happens, it's by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One might be thinking why Allah is giving permission, because Allah is testing the sorcerer and also the one who is being tested, any patient, to whom they are doing black magic. Allah is testing them both. They learned what they heard them and did not profit them. So Allah is clearly saying they did not profit them, knowing well that whoever by it shall have no share in the world to come, evil then was they sold themselves for it if they had but known. So Allah is clearly saying, وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا لَمِنِ اشْتَرَاهُ مَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَقٍ. There is no share in Akhirah. And وَلَبِسَ مَا شَرَوْا بِهِ أَنفُسَهُمْ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. And Allah is clearly saying, if they know, they would have not done this. They are selling themselves for this petty world, and the hereafter is forever and ever. Jabir radiallahu anhu quoted that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, Iblis would lay his thorn on water and would send his brigade of demons. The lowest among them in rank is the one who is most notorious in stirring up fitna. One of the demons would after a mission come and say, Iblis, I have done so and so. Iblis would reply, you have not done anything. Another would come and say, I have not left such and such person until I separated him from his wife. On this, Iblis would come closer to his demon and say, how good you are. He will appreciate that person because he wants separation between man and a wife. So here we'll see definition of black magic for separation. What is the black magic, definition for separation? Here it aims to cause separation between two spouses or stir up hatred between two friends or two partners. Spouse, husband and wife. And also here when we talk about the partners, it can be business partner, or sometimes even if you work for the deen, for the sake of Allah, there also people do such things. May Allah save us all, because whatever we are doing, it's for the sake of Allah. Lillahi, we don't want any name. Inna ajra ajar minallahi. Ajar is from minallah, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if somebody is not saying anything about you and not appreciating, that's okay. Because our belief is we are doing for the sake of Allah and Allah will reward us. And also, between two friends, sometimes the friends becomes enemy because they are not friends for the sake of Allah. If they are not for the sake of Allah, the hatred develops and enmity develops. And sometimes, why they have hatred? Because they start comparing each other. And sometimes one is boastful to another. Sometimes one thinks I am something than the other. It can be a number of reasons. But here talking about the definition of black magic, that is for separation. Somebody is doing that to separate one to another. So there, it consists of six types. Okay, it can be first separating person from their mother. Second is separating from their father. Third is separating from brother. Fourth is separating from friend. Fifth is from the business partner. And sixth is separating from most dangerous and prevalent type, that is separating two spouse. When talaq happen, the whole arch will be shaken up, and that's the most hated thing. But people, they make excuses and they say, I can't resist anymore, and so on and so forth. If it is genuine reason, Allah knows that, but that's the most hated thing. That's not the way out. For every little thing you take on ego and you start separating from one another. What if somebody did the black magic and you have fights and you have argument? Give some time. You can live separately for some time and give some time, and maybe it will be all right after some time. This black magic, it happens by Bismillah, with the permission of Allah. It doesn't mean it will be there forever. No, Allah will cure you. Have complete faith on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make dua. Allah will make things easy for you. It doesn't mean you should go and have your talaq and get separated. Give some time. And same thing for the parents. Give 100 excuses. If you have conflict between your parents and your friends or brother, no matter what, whether it's black magic or any other thing, but still you have a sense, you are in sense, so never ever sever your relationship. And after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then our own parents, and for the married woman is their husband. Never ever cut off the relationship. Symptoms of black magic of separation. What are the symptoms? People separate, they do all kind of things, and who will do this? Only the people who are very close to you, because they can access your personal stuff. This will happen with your personal stuff, one who can access your personal stuff. So you have to be alert. Symptoms of black magic of separation: a sudden change in attitude from love to hate. You love somebody and now you started hating. As I mentioned, all the six categories, it can be mother, father, brother, friend, business partner, or spouse. You started hating that, and that's a sudden change. But sometimes it can be genuine, because there is a conflict, or there is a difference of opinion. It doesn't mean somebody did it and you are coming to conclusion. It can be, but we have to give 100 excuses. It can be one of the symptoms. And the second thing is a great deal of suspicion is aroused between the two people. You have doubts about them, they have doubts about you. The best thing you should do is call them and clear the things, because shaitan instigate you, and they have something in your in their heart against you. So there's a great deal of misunderstanding and suspicion. And third thing, they don't accept any excuses. Like even if one of them is wrong, or if one of them you know for example, somebody is wrong, they accept their fault and they say, sorry, please forgive me. The other party being very unreasonable, they say, no, 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 I'm not going to accept sorry, no matter what. You did such a wrong thing, I will never ever accept. You understand what I mean? Or what if the other person says, no, I'm not wrong, I'm never ever going to ask any sorry. It can be both. Okay, Then fourth thing, exaggeration, the causes of disputes between two people, however trivial they may be. It can be very trivial, but they exaggerate it. Something small happen, and as time goes by, I notice like things become very petty because when you remember your death, like you have to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how Allah will forgive you. It can happen sometimes, between your own family members, between own close relatives, some misunderstanding or argument happens. But don't exaggerate it to such a big deal. Then you won't be able to forgive them, and they will be having grudge in their heart, and you will be having grudge for them. So that's the exaggeration. And the fifth thing, changing the mental image that a woman may have her husband, or change the mental image that a man may have for the wife. As a result, the man appears ugly or the woman wife appears ugly. This is all under the effect of spell. And many times they come and complain about their husband. They appear very ugly and so on and so forth. And some men also they compare this. They complain the same thing. So it can be spell. But make sure that you do your salah regularly on time and keep yourself clean in self, physically clean and also intangible also. And make sure that you do morning and evening askar. Sixth thing is the person under the spell would hate anything the other party does, whatever the other party is doing. And sometimes I notice the people they are more towards deen, they hate, they belittle that thing. They say, oh, so what if they are doing? I'm sure Allah will not accept. Astaghfirullah. How can we say on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? People think, if they think and say, they won't say such thing, but they don't think and say. They say whatever comes into their mind and whatever comes into their tongue, they will say that. So the person under the spell would hate anything the other party says. Whatever, if sometimes it happens, the other party would say something good to reconcile and to make things happen. For example, the other party they have some sickness and they went and saw them, but still they think so negatively and they say, oh, they came as if somebody died. Only we have sickness. That kind of behavior they have. They go to such an extent of negativity. And the seventh thing is the person under the spell would hate the place in which the other party stays. For instance, a husband may be in a good mood when he is in outdoor, but feels very depressed when he returns home. Many times it happens. Maybe something is there in their home, or somebody might have planted something, or Allah alam what it is. It happens. I heard some people they change the home and after that they are fine. And in the particular place they used to have that feeling, depression. And some people they say they used to have the nightmares in that home, and they used to feel something is behind them. But here talking about when they feel that as soon as they come home and they feel depressed, so try to overcome with that. Recite your duas when you enter home, say salam and enter. And we can prevent things, but Allah, whatever Allah has, you know, has in the plan, we can't undo that thing because Allah has something great for us. If Allah is testing us, Bismillah, by the permission of Allah, everything is, we have to go through the test no matter what. Sometimes some people they are thinking it's in their hands, they have everything to do. No, Allah is allowing that because Allah want to see how long they will go, and Allah want to see the other person how long they will do the sabr and do the tawakkul on Allah. So, according to Al-Hafid ibn Kasir, the cause of separation between two spouses through this black magic is that each of them appears to the other as an ugly or ill-mannered person. It can be spouse, it can be family members, they appear very ugly. Not physical ugliness, and also that misunderstanding and that hatred. And hatred is such kind of hatred, they don't want to give up. But I notice, like, when you do no wudu and when you do salah, after that, if you have, grudges with somebody, just call them and clear that grudge. That will be the time your iman will be on the peak. So Allah will give you, small chunk of windows to reconcile it. But we don't avail that, even though the most powerful magic, still Allah will give you chunk of windows to, overcome with this. And how does black magic for separation take place? A person would go to sorcerer and request that a certain person be separated from his wife. The sorcerer would ask his client to provide the name of the person and that of his mother and traces of the person's smell from his or her hair, garment, or handkerchief, etc. If this is too difficult to obtain, because sometimes you are not in the same country and the other person hate the person which is in other country and they are not accessible, the sorcerer would perform black magic on some water, then ask his client to spill it along the way which that person normally uses. Somebody is going to that path and they know, oh, through this path they go, they spill the water. If person crosses the place of water, then he or she would be affected by black magic. Another way of doing it is by adding the water into his or her food or drink. If they are accessible, like, they are coming to your home and they are accessible, they will come to your home and they will add in the water or in your food. They can bring the food and give it to you. It can be possible. So, treatment, there are three stages of treatment. The first stage, pre-treatment stage. So, providing a set of true faith by removing pictures from the place of treatment so that angels may enter it. So, what we have to do first and foremost, removing the picture. Yes, I am talking about all kind of pictures, just not animals, even our own pictures. We love to keep pictures, especially our children when they are very young, baby kind of, and our wedding pictures. I'm talking about keeping on the wall. I'm not talking about keeping in the albums. And this is the virtual world these days. Nobody keep in the albums. These days, virtually we use it. These days we have different apps in that which has the virtual picture. That also keep it off. And also all the hangings on the walls and everywhere. And even, sometimes we keep decorative pieces in living area or hallways. It has the shape of the animal or shape of the idol, and some people think, if they keep this thing it will be good luck or bad luck. That also should be removed. Remember one rule: whatever they have the eyes on it, even a stuffed toy, just in the night time cover it with the blanket or cover with the some sheet so that that eye won't be seen. Even magazines, just close it in the night time and keep it like, just you can't see that all the pictures I'm talking about. Second thing is taking any talisman from the patient and burning it. If you have anything, you believe in certain kind of talisman, when you are wearing it in your neck, on the armpit, on the wrist, on the waist, as an anklet. I'm talking about talisman. I'm not talking about, like jewelry, not the jewelry. The person, you went to some shrine and they said, oh, this Babaji, he did this and you have to wear this. And some, even these days, some non-Muslims, they give this and they say, oh, this is good luck for you. And our Muslim people, they start wearing it. No, not, I'm talking about those things. There would be no music in the place of treatment. Stop music, all the musical instrument, as well as complete stopping of music. The place of treatment should be devoid of any unlawful act such as men wearing gold, women without hijab, or anyone smoking. So here is very important. People, they are trying to do the ruqya and they are not able to be successful because they are not doing the hijab. Still they think, oh, it's okay to go without hijab. Start doing hijab. And men's, they wear gold, they wear jewelry. That also should be stopped. And also anyone smoking also is not a good thing. Instructing the patient and his family on aqidah so that their hearts are cleansed from any attachment to anything other than Allah. What about this? Aqidah means only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some people, they believe in false deities and they keep in their home, or they think somebody is lucky, somebody is this and that. All those things, they have to have tawakkul only on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Diagnosing the case by asking the patient some question. What are the questions? To check the existence of symptoms or most of them. Do you sometimes see your wife ugly? When you are asking a man, you will be asking about the spouse. Do you see your spouse ugly? Do you have any trivial marital squabbles? Do you feel relaxed outdoor and very depressed at home? Okay. Does anyone of you feel uncomfortable during having relationship with your spouse? Does anyone of you feel nervous during sleep or nightmares? Very commonly, for elder people, for the youngsters, for the teenage, nightmares. Continue asking questions, and if the patient has 2 or more symptoms, resume your treatment. 2 or more symptoms, appearing spouse ugly, or outdoors they are comfortable, depressed at home, or feel uncomfortable during the relationship with the husband and wife, or feel nervous during sleep, or have nightmares. So, resume your treatment. Bismillah. Perform ablution before starting treatment. Doing the wudu. Ask people who are with you to do the same. Tell everyone to do the wudu. If the patient is a female, do not start treatment until she covers her hair and body. If it's a female, do not start the treatment until she does the hijab and fastens her garment well so that her body is not revealed during the process of treatment. Okay, if some brother is doing and sister is there, and some mahram should be there along with that sister, like father or husband or brother or nephews, any mahram with the sister should be there, and that sister should be completely covered from head to toe, because during the procedure, during the treatment, something mishap can happen. That time she won't be uncovered. Okay. Do not treat a woman whose face is uncovered. Even face should has the veil. And also women should not wear any perfume or should not have long nails. Okay, long nails. Do not treat a woman unless one of her mahram should be there. That's a prerequisite, that's a must. Do not allow anybody to be present apart from her mahram. Nobody can sit along with the woman unless they are mahram. Recite La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, astainu billah jal wala, and say La hawla wa la quwwata. And the second stage of treatment, put your hand on the head of the patient and recite following ruqya loudly in his or her ears. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. So you have to recite Suratul Fatiha. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful, praise be to Allah, the cherisher and the sustainer of the world, most gracious, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. You do we worship and your aid we seek. Show us the straight way, straight path, the way of those on whom you have bestowed your grace, those whose portion is not wrath and who go not astray. So Suratul Fatiha completely you have to recite. So we will continue the procedure in the next class, in the next section, because it's a long treatment. It will take time how to treat black magic. Today we started chapter 6 part 1. Part A will continue part B chapter 6 and part 2 inshallah. Jazakallah khairan kaseer.